Hi Aquarius, this is your astrological prognosis for the year 2012 with me, Lada from astrolada.com. And before I start, I want to invite you and to advise you, to recommend you to find out what your ascendant sign and moon sign is. All of you know what your sun sign is, and we're talking about Aquarius today. So your sun was in Aquarius if you were born at the end of January and part of February. But you have another two very important signs that astrologers use for defining what your future will be, for what the future trends will be in your life. And the ascendant sign is especially relevant. This is the sign that was rising on the eastern horizon at the minute and time you were born. And it changes every 2 hours. So it's much more personal because the sun sign changes once a month, but the ascendant sign changes every 2 months, every 2 hours, and the moon sign changes every 2 days. So you see how much more personal they become. So especially if you listen for the prognosis for your ascendant sign, this is how a professional astrologer will do it. Then you will really get the picture how things will be working out in your life for 2012. But women should also listen. It's very important to listen to their moon prognosis because women identify more with the moon because it's a female planet. The moon regulates their bodies, their emotions, their inner world. And the sun, male often identify very strongly with the sun. Females as well, because nowadays females are becoming much more emancipated because the sun is a male planet. The sun is an active, dominant, goal-oriented, principle, inspirational planet. So a lot of women also identify it. So listen for the three prognosis. And for the moon and sun and ascendant, especially listen when I mention your exact degree or exact degree of the ascendant or moon, or the exact day that you were born, like say 14th of February, if you're Aquarius. Otherwise, if you don't have time to listen for the three prognoses, at least listen for the prognosis of the ascendant, because as I keep saying, this is how a professional astrologer will do it, and it will take relevant, it will look at where the two planets that are shaping your faith are in relevance to your ascendant, And again, I keep saying, if you listen to the moon and sun prognosis as well, just pay particular attention if I'm mentioning the exact degree or day of birth. And if you don't know what your ascendant sign or moon signs are, go to my website, astrolada.com. Enter your time of birth, place, and mark down the exact sign that your ascendant is in. Say you're born, if your ascendant is at 2 degrees Aquarius, mark it. And if your moon your moon might be at 7 degrees Libra or something, and then listen for the prognosis of both Libra and Aquarius, and particularly if I mention the exact degrees of your ascendant and sun. So, what happens if you have your ascendant, moon, or sun in Aquarius? I have my ascendant in Aquarius, so this is the most relevant prognosis for me, because I keep saying it's always very relevant to the ascendant. So I'm enjoying this prognosis because I'm telling myself what's going to happen as well in my life, And we always put the sign we're talking about in the first house, and we look how Jupiter and Saturn, the two movers and shapers of reality, how are they relative to this ascendant? What is their position for the year 2012 relative for the sign we're talking about, in this case Aquarius? So what happened? Jupiter, since 2011, from the summer of 2011, has gone into our 4th house from ascendant, moon, or sun. Here it is. And the 4th house, and where Jupiter passes, it always gives with ease, it gives with pleasure, it brings some expansion in our life there. And the 4th house, you see, is the foundation of the horoscope, is the lowest part of the horoscope. Therefore, it's our emotional foundation, how we feel about ourselves. It's also to do with the places that we go to regenerate before we come out into the world again, start climbing the world ladder, And this is our home, basically. So when Jupiter passes there, we'll first feel emotionally better about themselves, especially if your moon or ascendant is in Aquarius, especially moon or ascendant. And you'll feel better about yourself emotionally. You'll feel more expansive emotionally, more tolerant. You will feel happy being on your own, happy spending time happy within yourself, so to speak. It's your soul, it's your emotional world that is Jupiter is influencing so beneficially, and you'll be feeling quite happy and joyful spending time in your family and home. Fourth house is family, fourth house is home. It's also parents. They can bring some joy to you, or you can expand your family. Who knows, maybe a child coming to you, and this continues. This Jupiter staying there continues till June 2012. So Jupiter passes there once in 12 years, and it stays for 1 year in one house. It started from June 2011 and will continue till June 2012. And also you can expand your homes as well. On a more Monday level, you can maybe relocate to a bigger place, or maybe do some DIY at home, improve it, or maybe buy a new flat. You have a chance now, especially if your ascendant and your moon is in Aquarius. And yes, I am waiting for a bigger house from till June 2012. Yeah, I'm quite positive it can happen. It can something happen positive with your parents, as well. Fourth house is parents, mother in particular. Some of you, fourth house is the place of birth, is the country. So a lot of you can experience some joyful moments by reconnecting to their roots, maybe exploring their history, getting interest in their history, in their country. I've been doing this as well for the past year. For the past 5-6 months, since Jupiter has been there, I've been reading about Bulgarian history, where I'm from, and I find it fascinating. I never used to do that before, Also, it's going to visit your parents and bringing you joy. And I keep saying, on a more mundane level, till June 2012, you have a chance to expand your home, to expand your to relocate to a better place, maybe to a different country as well, and you're feeling more content within yourself, spending time at home. You feel maybe like spending more time at home because it brings you joy, And then Jupiter will be going into your fifth house from June 2012 till June 2013 approximately. It spends about a year. Every 12 years, Jupiter comes into your 12th house. And especially if your ascendant or moon is in Aquarius, what is fifth house? Well, it's children and babies. So, good news for me too. Who knows, Jupiter once day in 12 years can make you more fertile, independently whether male or female. Also, your romantic juices start flowing more, because fifth house is house of romance, is the house of self-expression, of self-esteem, of being joyful, having fun, and romance is the biggest thing that increases your self-esteem and brings you fun. So, romantic adventures from the second part of 2012 will increase, especially for people who have their ascendant or moon in Aquarius, And relationships, it can be a good time to start going out on the dating scene again. You're coming out of your house, you're coming out of your safe cocoon, and I've been spending so much time at home for the past 5-6 months and another 6 months to come, because I just love it. But after that, you come out and you start to party, you start to have more fun, you start to be more creative. Fifth house is house of creativity, it's house of joyfulness, it's house of inspiration. You'll be more inspired to create something new, and some of you will be creating babies. Babies are our creativity, part of our creation. Or if you already have children, you can be experiencing some joyful experiences in regards of your children, or maybe some opportunities coming to the life of your children. That's why you'll feel more optimistic as well, your children will somehow bring you joy, and there'll be expansion in their life, or your creative projects, whatever they are. But, it will not be for all Aquarius only happiness and roses. As I say later, I will mention which of you exactly will be having it a bit harder. And it's due to Saturn. And where is Saturn? Saturn, for the past almost 2 years, Saturn is the planet that brings with effort, with contraction, which tests us wherever it's passing. And Saturn is a much slower planet. It takes 2.5 years to pass through one sector of life. So it takes almost 29-30 years to make a full circle around your life. So it is the bigger hand of the clock, This is the bigger hand of the clock, the slower hand of the clock of your fate, so to speak. And because it's a more testing planet, you see, life is a bit harder on Earth than better, because Jupiter is the planet that brings joy and happiness. and understanding and light into your life, but it moves much faster. It spends much less time in a sector of your life. So the joyful things tend to pass faster. And Earth is a place to earn, you know. The planets show it, you know. The testing planets, they take longer time, so they test us more because we need it. I keep repeating, we are dumb animals still. We need to be tortured a bit more till we get it into our heads. Sorry. And when Saturn, wherever Saturn passes, it makes us become more serious, to restructure the area of life, that it's to become more introspective there, to become more, to put that area of life under scrutiny. And for the past almost 2 years, until October 2012, Saturn has been in our 9th house, especially from Ascendant and Moon again, but from the Sun as well. And 9th house is our beliefs, it's our spiritual connection to God, or so to speak. It's our beliefs about life. Do we believe that money grows on tree? Do we believe that you have to work hard for everything? What are your ideas? What have you based your life on? What ideas, on what philosophy? Are you a materialist, or are you spiritually inclined? Do you believe that there is a power higher than you? And Saturn has been reviewing those issues very important, very, very seriously. It does not allow you to take life lightly. It does not allow you to take spirituality or philosophy lightly. Maybe a lot of you developed interest in something more deeper about life. I definitely have been doing this for the past almost 2 years, or 7 months or something, 1 year and 7-8 months. And we're restructuring our belief system, making them more practical, more down to earth. Maybe you believed things that were a bit outdated, so you had to get rid of those old beliefs, you know. But it's such a slow process. It's also 9th house is the house of higher education, a more mundane level. So you still have to October 2012. A lot of you putting a lot of effort and hard work, and because again, where Saturn passes, it brings with effort. So if you have your ascendant, Sun or Moon, especially ascendant in Aquarius, some of you in the past year and for another 10 months, they might have studied something, higher education, which required a lot of effort, a lot of getting down to work and doing the things Saturn does not give with ease. It does give only if you deserve something, only if you work your ass off, you know, sorry for the expression. And sometimes you might feel dubious, should I continue in that line of work? Is this really true? If you're following some philosophy, if you're trying to, you know, to working on your mind, on your self-beliefs, you start doubting your old beliefs and you start trying to replace them with more valid, with more constructive, with more practical beliefs. And if it's your education, maybe you had to put much more effort into it, into the higher education, you know. Also 9th house is house of teachers, like teachers. So maybe Saturn brought there some very serious person that you really respect, older, someone that's been really strict towards you, like a mentor to you, that you really have to look up to. Because Saturn is a teacher, but it's a strict teacher. It's not someone who expands your vision with ease, only with a lot of hard work. And then from October 2012, Saturn is going into our 10th house. Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm okay now. Something happened. And Saturn will be there from 2012, from October 2012 to almost 2014, towards the end. So for 2.5 years, 10th house is our career. So it will have a very tangible effect. The career is, Saturn will want to, especially if your ascendant or your sun is there, Saturn will want from 2012 to 2014, 2012 October, to restructure and to, to bring your reality check on relation to your karmic duties. So a lot of you will be getting much more work and responsibilities than normal. Saturn brings a lot of work and responsibilities. You'll be getting a lot more effort required to your work. You can achieve heights in your career, because you see this is the highest position of the horoscope. So Saturn can really bring a peak in your career, but only if you've been working your ass off for the past 7-8 years before that, or even 14 years since Saturn was here when it started climbing up to the horoscope. up your horoscope, it reached here, it will bring you big rewards in this period, only if you've been working very hard before that, only if you've been really following the path that is putting a lot of effort and, you know, not taking any shortcuts. If you've been taking any shortcuts, if you've been irresponsible in some areas of life, if you've been following a path of life or responsibilities or work or career which is not your authentic one, this can actually be a time where you let go of an old career, of an old work. You might be released, even if you don't want to leave that job, if you're hanging on for dear life. If this is not your real authentic vocation that you're doing, you'll have to let it go in that period, you know. Maybe you'll be fired, maybe you'll be made redundant, so you can find your real, so you can really, you know, make a reality check of what is real for you, what goals and what career path is the most valid for you. And you might be building a new career foundations as well. Some of you might be actually starting a new career. For these 2 years, Saturn will make you work really hard in that direction, you know, to getting also your standing in society will get also under scrutiny. What name, what reputation you have. Saturn can test this, or it can improve it if you've been really diligent in your effort and where you're headed. But anyway, we'll talk more about that when the time comes. It's still far away. It's from October 2012. Good to know, a lot of work, but who is going to feel it from October 2012? Who is going to feel it strongly till the end of 2012, from October till December? Because we're talking only about 2012 now. So who will feel this Saturn influence of Aquarius, you know? Because I was talking about Jupiter, how lovely things it gives here. But some of you from October 2012, almost towards till the summer of 2013, but because I'm talking about 2012 only, I will talk from October to December. Those of you who have their ascendant or moon, here is the moon, from 0 till 9 degrees in Aquarius. This is me as well. Oops. Oops. So they might have ascendant and moon. Saturn will be affecting them from October till December, actually till almost till September 2013, you know, if you want to be fair about the whole process. But they will have a reality check on their, because Saturn is a reality check, is bringing efforts and testing. Ascendant and moon have much more to do with relationships. So maybe your relationship life will be tested. Your direction in life, the ascendant is in your direction in life. Who you are, who you identify yourself to be, who you want to be seen as, you know. So you'll be working on these issues. Ascendant is also physical appearance. So Saturn can contract this. So it's a great time for diets, for losing weight as well, but also take care of your health, because the moon and the ascendant have a direct influence towards your health as well. And Saturn can bring problems to the surface as well. Or those of you who have their sun in Aquarius, basically born from the 21st of January till the 30th of January, they will feel Saturn from October till December 2012. And when Saturn affects the sun, it's to do more with your goals, again with career. The sun is strongly directed to career, to your efforts, to your inspirations in life. You might feel a bit frustrated on your goals and where you're headed. Saturn will be testing, but it wants to give you a backbone. It wants to make you stronger. It wants to make you more determined in the face of material obstacles, you know. So once you learn to overcome them, after that, when they appear again, you will not be so thrown into despair or becoming so self-critical that you cannot achieve anything, being so scared of overcoming material difficulties, of overcoming worldly difficulties, you know. And that's what Saturn does. It tests us in this respect. But it brings us after that, it brings us great ability for endurance, for focusing, for being persistent in life as well, even though the periods are hard when it comes. And self-doubting, especially at the beginning, a lot of self-doubt can appear, but eventually We become much more proficient and efficient in that area that's been testing. And if we don't tackle it face on, we'll just get miserable and depressed for the whole period Saturn affects us. When Saturn comes, it requires us to work on the issues that it brings up, whether it is relationships, if it affects ascendant or moon, whether it is interpersonal relationship, whether it's your own goals and where you're headed in life. You need to face those fears, otherwise Saturn doesn't go away. Face those fears and do something about them. If you don't do, depression settles in, or more problems come on top of you. If you try to resist and contract and, say, resist and that's it, I'm not changing anything, I'm not moving anything, it will bring you difficulties, even more pain. Anyway, sorry if I scared you at the end of the prognosis. It's not so hard, Actually, when you finish the Saturn period,